They fixed the server. You know, I'm honestly very disappointed that I didn't have 2,000 people in queue. I'm very disappointed, actually. I don't know why I have that. Okay. So, a new world to explore. Okay. So we're going to Charleon, which does make sense. Turn to Charleon. Upgraded our hard drives to the server. Fair enough. I don't know how I like my new model, though. Yeah, hi, Gatling. Yeah, especially because I've been having login issues with Diabolos. I don't know if I like the new face. It feels a little more angular. I miss chubby Mikote. Or is it that? Where am I going? Yeah, I'm going there. Okay. Weird. Mormon 12, thank you for the sub. I haven't seen any of the new female cat race yet. That is a sage. That man gets a... So many people. New world to explore. Welcome back from Erenville. Seems he's managed to secure past the tutorial about the vessel. Why don't you wait in the main hall while I go and inform a traffic companion? It should only take a moment. Oh, I'm not gonna get used to that for a hot minute. The new tone. Ooh, I don't know about that. Yeah, we're going through as Paladin. Had us over 4 hours of waiting in queue in the first 2 weeks. Yeah, I was expecting that. I was expecting to make like an entire bit on like waiting in queue and just slowly going insane. I'm very like confused. Viper to 91st and starting MSQ. That's fine. No, this is a spoiler. I was debating if I wanted to stream this or not because people can't even watch it because you know they're either doing Viper or Pictomancer, or they're just like, hey, yeah, I don't want spoilers. Remember falling down. Yeah, I can kind of see it. Oh no, it's Small Kryl. Good news, we're made ready to set sail at a moment's notice. To arrive as Erenville himself. Oh no, we're gonna have to go find Erenville. Oh no! You're already 86. How? You okay, my guy? Like, expansion just dropped today. I guess rested bonus, I have to be fair. Glean's Guild should grant this place the best level of tutorial. We other passengers, research artisans alike, so we'll need to share the deck space. Fine. If anyone expected, we'll have a ship. Yeah. I tell anyone expect we have a ship to sail all to ourselves. I'm gonna have to read again. It's been a hot minute. Casting off your shit, so if you have any concerns, now is the time to voice them. Yeah, I want to get stuff unlocked before deciding. No, you're all good, Tamsin. You can call it consider, but everyone's still clear on what is we doing. Tural, yes. Ah, yes, tournament arc. Not forgotten. Tournament arc. All the Endwalker Yellow quests. I guess that's fair. Nation of Puyolal is in the midst of deciding its next ruler. As chosen now, as we shall assist you during the right of succession. But you're bid to become the Dawn Servant. I don't know. I get that it's a recap. I don't know about opening it up in this manner narratively, though, because we did do 6.55. So we did... I don't know. Kind of mixed on that. It's redundancy, right? It's kind of like how in lab procedures you have redundancy. Do you need to be checking them? Realistically, yes. Making sure everyone's on the same page, getting that muscle memory down. Like, narrative redundancy? I don't know, I'm kind of mixed on it. I'm gonna have another objective. Part of the reconstruction goal must 6 way to reconcile and re-engage with its neighbors. By visiting Tural, we hope to learn more about how its myriad cultures interact with one another, how they find common ground, develop stronger ties, sort of insights that might help our friends in Ilsabard. See you, Gatling. We'll see our goal in our own time. You're sure that we'll give the contest all due attention. That's all I ask, otherwise you're welcome to do as you like. Yes, cat lady. The last guy's life treating you. It's going pretty well. Got a bunch of... I got some spice in today. I got an XD Kale of Darkness Japanese copy. I was going to go post a picture of that later. Find out your grandfather, right, Kryl? Any anime others? Ever plan to watch any other anime or shows? I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh! GX again last night, actually. Like, I watch it. I'm just really picky on what I watch. Just because there's so much anime. Anime is so different nowadays than it used to be, right? And I'm not talking, like, you know, 50s with Mobile Suit Gundam, right? Which technically, yeah, that was pretty niche. No, I'm talking, like, 2000s, even into the 2010s. We started getting a lot more, right? Like, early 2000s, what are you watching? Full Metal Alchemist, Inuyasha, Bleach, Naruto, OG Naruto, right? I still need to play GX. Ubel's meta, so I've definitely dropped a hot dollar on that. Meant as a reaction. I don't know how I would do a reaction though and get around copyright, unless it's one of those things like I like chop it up, like oh, watching Lord of the Rings for the first time, and then you chop it up and you just show your face watching it. I never really liked that format, but people like it for some reason. Albus, if I found, had been tasked with investigating the Golden City by your father, the Dawn Servant, yet oddly enough, no record of investigation of our archives. I was explain the earring which accompanied the letter. This is the bottom of my both personal and official. I would very much like to get to the bottom of this mystery. Plus, I can't even do the big ones, right? Like, I can't do Kip reacts to Return of the Jedi first time watching, right? I can't do that. I've seen it way too many times, and even then, I've already seen it in the past. It'd be disingenuous. How about your answers right from the source? Look forward to meeting him. In any case, you're not the only one who's interested in the City of Gold. Banui. Golden City is a children's bedtime story. I'm part of the expedition only because the third promise commanded I serve as the guide. Still playing the part of the stoic servant, I see. What have you? Don't tell me you've all changed your mind. Yes. Brian Porkchop, thank you for the resub. It's been a minute, hasn't it? 5 months already. Will said we won't get far welling for the shallows. God, I needed this. I need to get used to reading again. If I'm still committed to the journey, then I say we make ready to depart. It's been really great though. I've been working on other projects. I'm looking at my next Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon short. I'm looking at them. I just saw that shader and that dye, and I'm just like, that's arsenic. History. He goes to the others have already left for the harbor. Danger in missing the boarding call. Perhaps we should be on our way as well. Yes. Banui. A lot of Banuis. I wonder what the race mix is. I wonder what the ratios are. Wasn't linked to your React channel yet last time I checked. So I have to double check that. No, I need to go back through the descriptions and add those. Yes.
Savoring the moment. I can feel your excitement.
Give me 1 second.
Eagerness to explore the unknown.
It's the funny. It's the meme.
For once, the fate of the world doesn't rest on our shoulders. We might even get a chance to enjoy ourselves.
You turn Discord future. I do it. Let me get my Ubel stuff first. That way people don't have to play branded. Oh, he said the line.
Tural may seem but a short sail away on a map. The vast seas between brim with peril.
Oh no, not the boats.
The of Shade's Triangle alone have claimed countless vessels.
Let me adjust the volume really quick. Let me adjust this up to about 35-ish. That way it's a little easier for people to hear.
Even following the safe route plotted by Admiral Bufiswin herself, this will be no pleasure cruise.
I never pronounced it that way. I have been mispronouncing it this whole playthrough.
Perhaps, but my voyage here was uneventful enough. Disappointingly so.
Don't you say, you better knock on wood right now. Our history with boats is uncontested.
The two of you have first-hand experience, which will be of great comfort in the days ahead, I'm sure.
No, the meme is that we have a bad habit, a bad track record with boats crashing and stuff. We'll just walk to the New World.
Aye, it's nothing new to us.
All aboard! We're casting off!
Yes, swarthy sailor.
It's time. I trust you have everything you need.
It's gonna take a while to get used to the new face. I want dolphin teeth though. I'm sad that they got rid of the dolphin teeth for the Lalafell. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament. I could see about doing that. I'd have to figure out a myth or a medium. We'll probably use Ignis, the YGO Pro, if anything, because I think doing IRL just gets really weird in terms of setup.
Does our ship cast off from the docks. We sail west, as Kettenram did some 80 years past, bound for the New World, known to her children as the continent of Tural.
Yes. But yeah, no, channels, if they don't have views, that you can't really link them. And even then, like, I can't provide links on it because the channel's still too small. But I do need to go back and I need to link the Professor Kip as well as the Kip YGO. Yes, you're correct.
When this contest is said and done, it'll be your daughter who sits the throne. Me, Woklamat.
You know, I just look where she's at, and I just think about the sword from Skyrim up in Solitude. The what is it, the Windblade or whatever? The stupid, someone's gonna know what I'm talking about, the saber, right? That you can miss. One of the unofficial accessibility pricing issues. That's also the other one, right? I want people to have access to play stuff. So using like YGO Pro or something would probably be the best, but I could see about doing it. There's Sword in Solitude. When you did the, was it the Dark Brotherhood quest line, and you had to assassinate the Imperial on the ship outside of Solitude, and you went up to the front of the ship there, right? On that little thing where she was standing on, there's a sword there, and you can miss it. Yes. Blue Alice. Red Alpha, no. Yeah, a lot of people miss it.
Smooth sailing so far?
You know, I'm getting so many red flags.
Aye, so far so good. But this sea, she's a fickle one. Calm one moment, blowing a gale the next.
Yes.
I'll take my rest while I can then.
It's the funny chat. We're on the funny.
We left port what seems an age ago now, and we've seen naught but open water ahead. I knew Tural was far, but it's another thing to really know.
That's in fact how the ocean works. That's why a lot of people hate the ocean. I think the eyeshadow's popping a little more.
Some of our fellow passengers have made this trip before. Several times, in fact. I was able to learn a few things about Tuliolal and the right of succession. Since we still have a long way to go, why not have a chat with them yourself? I'm sure you have questions of your own. Did you look out across these same waters, Grandfather?
So these times went wrong expansion. Depending on who you ask, right expansion. That is a name. Bonjatane? Bonjatane's name working on Eshtime's aesthetics in Ul'dah. See, my employment with them came to an end. That's why I visited Charlie in hopes of starting over. I was attempting and failing to find a job. I seized a chance to board this vessel when I overheard room for the passage suddenly opened up. I'm told the Dawn Sword welcomes all regardless of origin, so Tuliolal, a perfect place to begin anew. Hopefully things will be better this time. What a cool dude. I was half expecting someone to be up there. Smooth sailing so far. Canary's here before you're a great and famous hero. Enough playing the Simpleton. There was a time when we took great pains to maintain the deception, but with more of you Aerorzans coming to Tural, it's becoming impractical. My mercenary days are over. Too far many of us warband have fallen, so we head home to lick our wounds. Well, since we also wanted to retrace the historic journey of the great Kenturam, being the first Aerorzan set foot in Tural almost 80 years ago. Molchus later said to have welcomed Kenturam with open arms and with bounty of silver as a token of friendship. Real treasure with the crops brought back. Bobotos, tomatoes, and corn, which spread across Aerorzan like wildfire, and eventually led to a culinary revolution. Tales say that Kenturam returned to Tural several times after that, but his ship vanished in the last part of the voyage, and he was never heard from again. Maybe before them can beat such an end is testimony to the ocean's peril. Ganyu file Maxer caused you to have. Yes. The answer is yes. Adventure, I presume. Merchant myself, based in Oldos. Specialty imports and exports, areas and Interrally both. First crossing the salt, as they say. Do you remember your social mores in Asia are not necessarily the same as those over yonder? So it's not common for various races to be referred to instead by the names of certain clans from Mikote, the Etsaro, the Rogar, the Ixbral, only because each member is of a given clan of the same race mind. And the individual said race are associated with the clan. Fair assumption in certain cases. Take care not to give offense. We're about to offend so many people. I like that there's passage to Old Charlotte and you can actually turn this boat around. It's really funny. Act 1 React video. Oh, I love Maxwell's work on that, honestly. Devil May Cry on stream. Yeah, I do it. I play a lot of stuff on stream. The issue is, like, finding the time between my React content schedule. Because I do two a day eats up an odd amount of time. Make the wager, taking bets on who will sail next in the Dawn Servant's shiny chair. There are 4 claimants in the rest of the section. Young Wolf not being one of them, of course, but from Mulja blokes telling us the other 3 are strong contenders, making risk their coin on the 3rd promise. Go chaotic. If it is being made. He might make it. I know he wants to do, I think, the Elden Ring DLC video, and that's, I think, kind of his, like, last, like, solo project, I think. He made a post about it. Which, I'm happy for Max, I'm happy he's gotten as big as he has. Dude's super legit. 5 on stream at some point. I do want to play Devil May Cry 5. I do want to play... What's Senator Armstrong in the game? Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. I want to play that. The one about the clan name should look at Lamont and teaches, and Ervil teaches the ones we should know. You can let Chili up here on deck. Let's get out in the cabin. Hi, Jace. We on a boat. He plays the DLC. The DLC's been fine, honestly. What is up? Drywall. Depending on your situation, probably asbestos. But I mean, you know, the usual. It's the funny. Yes, you ever get so drunk that your entire bottle just rolls?
We're in for a proper storm, it seems.
I love this face. Top right, I love the face. Amazing. Cat gets seasick.
How's your stomach? Any better?
I don't know what you mean. I don't get seasick.
Amazing.
I'm just feeling a little nauseous is all.
Isn't that what seasickness is?
Come on, Red Alpha. No, you can't say that. Come on, don't make assumptions. The side eye I'm giving is great, though. That's a Kip meme right there. Dear God.
Erenville, you were born in Tural, yes? Do many Vieira live there?
The Shetona, as my people are called, have settlements mainly in the north, in Shaktural.
And your family?
I know nothing of my father, not even his name.
Plot point.
As for my mother...
Got him. Yes, barrel.
We're the teeth of the girl, lads! Reef that sail for the mass snaps!
Unlock new class and some character appearance adjustments. I couldn't do it. I don't care about Viper or Picto.
Only who's on watch! This wind's too strong to take in yourself! I'm falling off the mast! We need help! Get him below decks first!
I'm small.
Before he's washed overboard!
Come, we should lend what aid we can.
Yeah, no, Chekhov's gun, 100%. I actually end up watching. The answer right now is not a whole heck of a lot. I open the channel, that way people have the place to put it, and it is something that I do draw from, but it's a recommendation, not a guarantee, and I stress that.
The ocean rage with such fury before or since.
Sounds like a Leviathan. In character appearance. I'm cool with how I look, though.
Tossed our ship about like a toy, sending sailors tumbling. The dauntless Alizé, quick to the rescue, was almost lost to the sea herself.
hell is that?
Meanwhile, our champion rushed to deploy the vessel's magical defenses, and thereby shield us from the lightning.
Are they Earth Ether crystals? She's worth it. I did see that. Love Steve Downs.
She must lead to be able to operate such a device with practiced ease.
You could say that.
Woklama, too, threw herself into the rescue efforts, though one might have mistaken her for another soul in distress.
Got him. Yeah, I mean, it's a place to submit them. I want to watch some at some point. I want to watch more. I also have to just, like, keep in consideration that, like, I'm not quite to the level I can watch anything all the time, if that makes sense.
Our strength was all but spent, and we had yet to even glimpse the shores of Tural. In retrospect, of course, that battle against the storm would prove a fitting prelude to the coming contest for the throne.
Right? some third-party shenanigans. Tournament arc's gonna go badly. Oh yes. I kind of like the armor upgrade. Did they upgraded the Endwalker sets, right? This looks upgraded. How was the queue? There was like 50 in queue. It was weird. Good reaction to it. It depends also how short it is, right? Like, it just depends on the video. Not sure why the train conductor hat though, because I like my hat, okay? I like my hat. Updated Emmett's Garland Emperor roads were not though. Oof. Wait. That's not a glam you can get. I was under the impression you couldn't get those. I like my hat. Leave me alone.
Morning.
Big and stupid. I love it.
Some fresh air. Seems my belly has settled along with the weather, but I'll feel much better once we're on solid ground.
Well, it's also Shadowbringers. They were doing Endwalker back, right?
Farther now, can it?
There it is. There it is, chat. The funny bird.
Land must be near. You need only hold out a while longer.
It's the funny bird.
For a dark moment, I thought the ocean might swallow us. Glad to have my pessimism proven wrong.
In other good news, I examined the sailor who took a fall, and he's faring well. I'm sure he'll make a full recovery.
Nice.
Good news indeed. If all's well, then we needn't delay in launching the landing boat. Ships have to lower anchors some way from shore. Too close, and they risk having their underbellies ripped open by the reefs that crowd Tuliola's coasts. Come.
I was under the impression that they were going from Endwalker back per expansion, or that might be the dual channel dies. I think that's the dies then. Ooh, we have dual channel dies now, actually, now that I think about it. Or is that coming in 7.1? I know housing is what, 7.1? The meme is that it's the blue-footed booby in English. So people like to truncate it to be funny.
Thanks for bringing us all this way.
Ha! We only did what we were paid to do. Couldn't hardly set you adrift halfway.
Amazing. That's why they get paid the big bucks.
If anything, it should be us thanking you for helping us through that beast of a storm.
Look in the dresser. I'll have to split toy with it.
Starting to fancy your chances in the contest. At this rate, we won't be able to lay wagers no more.
Got him.
Then I better not let you down. Easy, stomach. Easy.
Amazing.
We're the last to board.
The ocean just gets the people.
If there's nothing left to say, then let's shove off, shall we?
Didn't we get a mount, actually? A pre-order mount? Yeah, we got new Cruise Chaser, right? Or I guess old new Cruise Chaser, right? It looks great, honestly.
Blue seas, clear skies, and boundless possibilities. I dare say our destination will soon be in sight.
You don't get a tax release, no. Because this is still pre, I guess. And maybe that's why the queue wasn't that bad.
Enjoying yourself for a change?
It's the trailer moments. It's the trailer scene. I like how they actually do them in. They actually tie it in. Oh no!
There,
See,
look,
shot
my
for
friends.
shot.
Behold the scene of our next great adventure.
At last, we are come to the land you call the New World. To my home, Tural.
Yeah, there's one with the mount. Yeah, so we won't get that till Tuesday then. Oh, where's the title screen? Where is it? There it is. I love it. It's so cheesy. I love it. Okay, we've dealt with the boat now. I kind of like this rendition, actually. Roll credits, so we're done. I kind of like it. It's the slower jazz, right? Oh, that's gonna be a TP point, actually. Yeah, yeah. Goblin, look at him. I'm getting what's the Ronkin Empire? I'm kind of getting those vibes, actually. Like, we knew this was gonna be like Aztec, right? But I'm kind of getting Ronkin Temple vibes. The coffee bar, right? Like a nice diner.
Gods, I've seen cities with an impressive mix of cultures, but this is something else.
It's Fantasy America. Is this what we're going for?
I've never seen Vanu feathers in that color before.
Yes.
You'll
The
find
pride,
much here
the pride
you
Vanu.
never knew existed. There may be a sea route now, but visitors to Tulihiolal are still few and far between.
Oof.
And as we don't build seafaring ships, only a handful of Turali ever venture abroad.
I mean, there's just no need for them to build sea venturing ships.
Mamulja sellswords mostly. Those willing to play the fool sail with Lominsan merchants to secure employment in Eorzea.
I suppose that makes us a rare sight in your country.
Rare and currently undocumented. Were there some forms we should fill out or...
Kryle's still worrying about paperwork. I love it.
Forms? Did you forget who you're traveling with?
Yes, big limzards. And big limzard.
You are outsiders? Visitors to Tural?
We are.
It's Fantasy America. I
Our
love
nation
it.
is soon to hold a right of succession to choose its next dawn servant. We will not abide interference from foreign agents seeking to foment trouble. What brings you to Tulihiolal?
I can answer that. These fine people are allies in my succession bid.
And that went over just about as well as you're going to expect.
Third promise. If you vouch for them, then all is well.
Actually, that went better than expected.
Please, accept our apologies.
No need to bow and scrape. That our soldiers are so diligent in their duties fills me with pride.
Her arm is clipping into her hand.
We'll be continuing our patrol then.
What a weird shield. Kind of reminds me of Theodokos.
Well, well. You
No, the glam's great.
are a figure of authority here.
Are you suggesting I don't look the part? Anyway, first things first.
Yeah, her hand was clipping into her arm. Yeah, the color and the silver on the armor was great.
I bid you welcome to Tulicholal.
Are we supposed to get here at night, or is this just my luck of the draw again? I really like how shiny this armor is now, actually. I really kind of love it. I kind of liked when it was matte, but it works just in a different way. Yes. So you have to remember that I started playing... When did I start playing? I started playing, well, like Endwalker had been out for a year. Like 6.4, I think, was the new thing when I started playing. So now I'm just sitting here and I'm just kind of like, wow. Actually, no, let's go you. Like, it's weird to actually see players running content. It's weird to see people in hub areas. That's so strange to me. It was luck, fair enough. So there's definitely on the contrary here, safe and sound. And I'm so glad I got this rested bonus. I'm in the city anytime I speak with this word, they say other. Cool. Go figure. But that's the thing, I've played and all the hub worlds have pretty much been empty except maybe like Old Charlian or hub areas or Razad Han. Like I haven't seen this yet from in my entire time playing. First things first. Bomb. Still a bit queasy. No more boats for a while. No boats? How dare. Wait. Chat. If this is Final Fantasy XIV America, does that mean that Tulicholal gets upset when other nations touch their boats? Man, the jokes are gonna write themselves this expansion. It's gonna be great. Viper and picked it before I start. Nah, fuck it. I wasn't even gonna touch him. And then I have my buddies. He's like, nah, I'm gonna go raise Picto now. I'm like, no. We just arrived, but we should get familiar with the city before the Red Succession begins. An arguments here you should very much like to explore. And I'll guide you. In any condition to do so. We were wondering if who the strange folk were, so the third promise found herself some new fellows than A. Followers. Wicklamat, are you unwell? No, it could be better. The third promise does not get seasick. No, sir, it's from a handpicked entourage here. I recruited them to help me with the right of succession. Show them around the city, in fact. That sounds lovely. Inquisitive passerby. I love their name. The outfits are great. They're probably going to die really well, especially with dual channel. A group of foreigners going to attract attention, especially if they're in the company of the third promise. Everyone will be curious. We certainly were. Ernvall's going to do it. Your siblings intends to command a respectful distance. You're just so easy to approach. That's the one. But and I enjoy it so much when you do. Please don't ever worry that you're a bother to me. Very kind. Good day to you, third promise. But I don't know if Garlemald would count because Garlemald isn't in the New World. Good point. It's technically royalty here, like I'm not a person for station trial by this many outsiders bound to draw a crowd. What do you mean technically? He's just moving in two groups to attract less attention. Technically ignoring me then. Oof. You and Crow can come with me. Take the twins then. Get in touch once you have a good look around. Voyage was hard on all of us, so take it slow and recuperate. We have enough time for that. Enjoy your wanderings. And Kryl looks on inquisitively. We should wait a bit, at least until Clement's nausea subsides. No need for that. Look, I'm ready to go. The seasickness, I love as a plot point. To be fair, we also had in Endwalker the teleportation sickness, right? From the experimental aetheryte stuff. You really can't stand around all day feeling sorry for myself, with Contas looming and all, and seeing as we're already here. Tell you about the harbor. Ernville already mentioned the reefs in the coastal waters, which explains why you don't see any big ships moored at the docks. Only vessels with shallow drafts can navigate the bay, mostly small fishing boats or barges ferrying cargo up and down the rivers from inland settlements. Incoming traffic is from Dawntrail, southern landmass, the clans that produce various goods for export. The wares are unloaded. Oh, I see the median bird. Damn, I need to run dead ends again. Unloaded air and carted off to the merchant stalls, neighboring markets. Speaking of which, Bayside Bevy should be our next stop. Yep, I called it right. I see the Apostoma. Encounter conversation points. I don't know if I agree with this, because we know what it is from Endwalker, and from my understanding, you have to play Endwalker before you can even do this, even with the skip, right? Once again, redundancy. I wonder if it's... I criticize it because I wonder if it's hand-holding you too much, and I know Yoshi P has said he wants the game to be harder, but hard doesn't necessarily mean have your players be lost on what to do. Some of what Destiny has going on, right? One of the memes was just like, well, how do you get this exotic? Well, you have to be in this exact spot doing this exact thing on this exact map on a Tuesday with your shoes backward. More often than not, people agree with that sentiment sometimes in some of the older exotic quests, like Xenophage. But, I don't know. There's a lot of redundancy in here. So can we get a new post-Moogle quest? I'd be okay with that. Bayside Bevy Tilial's largest marketplace. Next to the harbor, everything from fresh fish to imported wares directly to shares. Anything you want, they most likely have. Oh, right, one thing I should mention that Tilial, we buy things with a Pel, a currency that the Pelu created. Don't worry, more and more trade is coming from yours. So most shops are happy to accept your guild. Also a Wachume. Kimeki. There we go. Market east to here, but that can wait for another time. I have other place I want to show you first. Okay, that was a word. Head back a little bit to the north of the stairs, to a certain plaza. Can't wait to see the look on your faces. Ooh. The funny alien. I have the funny alien, actually. I can put him out. Where is he? There he is. He is a very large alien. Very large. Let's see through it. I mean, so far, I like it. So far, it's visually appealing. So far, it's interesting. The redundancy features, I think for your average player, especially if they took a break, I think it's fine. I also retain information very well once I've done something. Think like that, eh? Gives me heavy aetherytes until Yolal. I think I told you before, my brother Quan spent 3 years studying in Charlotte. He fell in love with the nation and its ways and brought back to us the knowledge of aetheryte construction. Warmed to the idea at once, had one built immediately. You do the attuning thing. If you're ready to continue, we'll head down again and then up the slope to the right at the top of the gate, which leads to Shaktaral. Let's make a stop right at the Blightboom post on the way, though. That's the headquarters of the Landsguard. I'm really curious to know what skills I get as Paladin. Like, I've seen the showcase, but I want to know what we're going to get and what the new rotation is. This is a big hub space, actually. This is really big. I wonder if this is bigger than Razadhan. I heard Xbox is actually having some issues today. Xbox is having some issues with some of the areas. There's just a lot of processing power. A lot of narrow winding streets that crawl up the sides of the mountain. As you can see, though, the builders made sure the city's main thoroughfares were wide enough to accommodate wagons. I kind of like it. Take me to completely get by from Picton 9. I'm gonna hop out and avoid spoilers. Yeah, no, that was my big thing of even if I wanted to stream this, because there's not gonna be a lot of people that can watch this because they still have to go through themselves. But yeah, do the things. Go ahead. Cat, have a good one. I love that Poo-Poo is the same size as Kryl almost. That's wild. Actually, big minion. Cool so far. No, it looks really aesthetic. Like, I'm liking it. I'm liking how this is built so far. Red Balloon Post soldier stationed here responsible for defending Tulial and preserving the peace. Windsor led by our nation's strongest warrior, so naturally Papa's commanded since the beginning. So 3 years ago, when Zorljad took over as commander, the title is no empty honor. It means the first promise is considered equal to the Dawn servant in martial strength. Wow, interesting. Okay. I haven't even managed to. I'll discuss my brothers and their accomplishments. Alpha No and LSA should be around here too. Come on, it's time to show you the Sky Gates right at the northern end of the Talon March. Oh, it looks quite good. It's good, Breezer. I'm liking the aesthetic. I'm liking how it's built and put together. I wonder if it's going to maintain the momentum though, like with some of the areas and stuff. Because I mean, even in Heavensward, we got stuff like, you know, Chocobo Forest up to the north of Ishgard, right? Like we have some interesting locales in this game, especially, you know, Endwalker's final area, right? Really interesting. I want to get to Vault of Glass, as I call it. In the trailer, it's the vault, right? Yeah, I want to get to Vault of Glass, see what it does. Massive, isn't it? Massive, isn't it? Should not have been my autocorrect. Oh my god. On the other side is an equally massive bridge to match. Both were constructed by a race of giants. The race of giants? Particularly speaking, Tural is actually two separate continents. Tural, the southern lands of the mother, and Tural, the northern lands of the father, which lie beyond the bridge. Let's just say it used to be one large landmass, but long, long ago, the two gods fought in a titanic battle, one through the other to the ground. The impact was so devastating it split the continent in twain. Remember Dawntrail, and put in mind the conflict between Hydaelyn and Zodiark. Getting back to Tural, these lands are also part of the Tulial nation, correct? Right, isn't my father incredible? He united peoples of two continents into a single nation. Many clans of Tural have been at war for generations. It's only when the Papa traveled the lands and put a stop to the myriad of conflicts that we finally had peace. Yeah, he's gonna get assassinated, isn't he? And the only reason I want to win the throne so I can preserve the peace he built. You're more interested in what's behind the gate than hearing about my aspirations. Crossing bridge to Tural requires special travel pass. Fortunately, they won't issue any new permits until the rest of the session over. So that's probably the post area then, or that's the new Eureka area, right? I'm thinking it's probably going to be something in post. Promise you when I'm Dawn servant. Until then, you'll just have to wait. I broke my word once thrown his mind that travel permit is yours. Yeah, that's probably the Eureka zone then. Covered half the city by now. It was like any place I visited. Thoroughly enjoying myself. It's a lot of just XP to just. It's a lot. What is that? 990. It's almost just shy of a. It's just shy of a mil. It's wild. So I west towards the Arch of Dawn. The distinguishable landing on the way. You have principles too. Tulial certainly doesn't want the methods of travel. We get it by now. If you see enough this area, let me know and we'll continue on. Yes, I got the ether right. On the other side of the city, speak if you see something that interests you as we walk. I kind of like the night ambience or the night atmosphere. Kind of dig it. Like the lights and lanterns, they're pretty good in terms of what they how far the glow is, how ambient they are. I like them. So you can see how one constructed an entire city on the side of a mountain. Originally the site of the Yakwai Temple, the giants built it when they were first making the bridge to Shaktaral, to appease the god who slumbers in the great ocean trench. The Yakwai withdrew, the temple stood empty for centuries, then Papa was established a nation. He saw a structure he could refurbish to a palace, practicing the center of Tiral. He gathered artisans to do the work, and the houses they built for themselves became the foundation of the city you see today. Speaking of those houses, we'll be passing through the Resplendent Quarter, the biggest residential district in Tiliolal. We climb these sets of stairs here all the way up. Looking at the sky feel like this, right? No, it's really good as a chill atmosphere, a chill vibe kind of thing. Kind of reminds me of Wind Waker, actually. Wind Waker actually had a good skybox and good ambience, especially with the waves. I'm well overdue for a Wind Waker playthrough. It's called Alak Shunso, which translates to invincible resilience. I want to take this, but we'll be coming back here later. Let's move on for now. Right, I mean, this is the introduction or the introductory sequence that just unlocks the Aetherites for you, the ether things. Scale this palace incredible. I wonder what carving at the top represents. Alright, look at the carving. So we'll probably go here, go south, and then back up, if I had to guess. Planet Quarter versus Cabins. Maybe we'll go Cabins Quarter, then top. I mean, I like it. I like it as a sequence that gets you used to the actual hub area. Resplendent Quarter, what manner of people live here? Residents from Yakshral clans, Vamolja, Sprawl, Pelupelu, Moblin, and Hanu Hanu. We also have the Tonawada, Hitsaro, and Shatona who moved south from the ancestral lands in Shaktaral, gathering people from every corner of Tiral. A true representation of Tiliola's diverse character. The adornments on each building tribute to the eclectic cultural aesthetic. It's so beautiful. I think so. Come, we continue down the stairs. This 14's weird things with jumping. Big drum like this is called the Dawn Herald. They play for formal occasions like honoring lands guards return from dangerous duty. Tried hitting it with my axe once and ripped the skin, earned me a proper scolding. Let me tell you, I think it was the time that Papa held me upside down by the ankle. I love it. Never seen such an enormous drum. What we used to beat such an instrument. Yes, drum. Let's say gong and then just do the Beavis and Butthead. Boing. Not alpacas. What? Alpaca. Look at it. That looked like the face of Mercy. It knows something. It knows things. I don't like them. Hey, Ace Kyrushin, how's it going? I don't like it. I don't like the alpacas. They're plotting. I see the augmented. I see that Themosis. Oh, no, it's not Themosis. That's augmented Hades bow, I think. Dirigible's not bad, eh? Here, other nations use airships to sail the skies, but we only find balloons until Yola. These are the exact same reasons Aetherites. Kwana brought back plans from Charlie and Papa Thuff and Fantastic commissioned their construction. This was around 3 years ago. We've added flights to other settlements. Trade with frontier communities has never been easier. It's about dirigibles. The Arch of Dawn awaits. Yeah. So we'll go down there. We'll probably hit here and then go back up then. Okay. Stadium on my phone. So I can play all his gym leaders. Like, that's why I wanted to go through with non-rental teams. Because good God, Stadium is hard. Stadium can definitely... It's one of those that it is especially if you're using rentals, it is one of the hardest Pokemon games, like official Pokemon games. I do want to get a Japanese copy of Stadium though, because Stadium Zero, because there's a couple differences between Japanese Stadium and English Stadium. So I've been kind of wanting to test that out. It's like how I got XD Gale of Darkness in Japanese, Emerald in Japanese, so I can hit the Japanese side of that spectrum. I got Crystal as well, Crystal and Fire Red. So I'll probably need something like, I don't know. I'm expanding my Pokemon collection. Partially because, you know, I want to do Pokemon stuff. You know, Professor Kip is a channel now and all that. Did I already get that or not? I'm pretty sure it's the drum one. Yeah, it's the drum one. They're so fluffy. Two's never really played one. I'm the opposite. I had one, so I played one because they really didn't have access to two, or I don't think you need the expansion pack, actually. But I just never had access to two. Not readily. But now I have both of them, so I can go back and play them. The Arch of the Dawn. Ironic that it's starting to turn day when I get here. Giants are still always known as the Dawntrail land gate, but when Papa found Tuliala, everyone began using the present name. Not of its great achievement. So the gate is Kozama Uka, the wetlands of the city. Through this gate is the Kozama Uka, the wetlands south of the city. You know what Red Session asks of us, we might end up going in that direction. Name alone is intriguing. What were those fluffy animals we passed earlier? Cryo, please do not acknowledge the alpacas. If you acknowledge the alpacas, they might bite. Nidoking is busted in this game. I believe it, 100%. I actually need to see what Nidoking's moveset is. Those are alpacas, fearsome four-legged fiends. See, I agree with her. I agree with her on this. See, what Clement understands. They seem quite placid to me, for now. You'll learn soon enough, Prowl. You'll learn soon enough. I like her. She understands. But the alpacas something far more important to show you. Come along. I don't know. The Eldritch abominations that are alpacas, you know, kind of important. Being Tauros before this. Tauros. If you haven't watched False White Gaming's bits on Tauros, Tauros is like OU in Gen 1 because of how speed and crit works, because of its move set. Tauros is a force of nature. Yes, fat cat. There's only the history till y'all look no further. No pillars, you mean? Yeah, it's actually obscene. Of these pillars, if I may ask. Once met those seem ordinary decorations, but if you really take a good look, see if there's something much more interesting. There's the destination. Yes, inspect the pillars. High attack and stab normal moves. Have you tried Hyper Beam in Tauros yet? Where Hyper Beam in Gen 1 doesn't have to recharge if you knock something out? Because remember, that was a mechanic in Gen 1. So you have normal type stab on Hyper Beam, and if Hyper Beam gets a knockout, you don't have to recharge in Gen 1. Just thank you, Gen 1 coding. Actually, wait, no, these are glyphs. Those here stores, maybe one of them featuring a two-headed Mamolja. Oh, then this must be. That's right. Well, as explains to my father, Gulul Jaja, his journey to unite our lands, called the Tiliola Saga. He performed on the bonds he forged, all immortalized in stone. Personal slash, yeah, just super high crit. No better way to learn how Tiliola came to be. Study them as long as you like. Victory Bell as well, actually. Victory Bell had a high crit ratio in Gen 1 because of his speed and Razor Leaf. Oh, where's the funny? Where's the funny? Oh, I thought this is one where you're gonna have to like find something. Like Axolotl, Abystoma. Later, brother, the big scene where Papa granted audience for an explorer Ket, something I can never remember his name. I mean Kentaram. Some Kentaram's arrival in Tyrell was what prompted Papa to embark on his own journey. We were close friends, brothers in spirit, if not in blood. But no one knows what became of the explorer in later years. Kentaram's disappearance is a mystery over as well. The records say he traveled between our lands and yours for a while. It assumed he was lost at sea. Big focus on these guys, so that's going to be interesting. See how this develops. Here we have later the reads the story when Papa visited the Hanu in their village in Zamauka. People often mistook for the Vanu, if not for the colorful plumage. Their time among the Vanu in the Sea of Clouds, so surprised you took an interest in your countrymen. I don't know how it is with your Vanu, but our Hanu are bright and cheerful sort. Hold this one festival every year, very famous, a lot of fun. This one recounts the layer past. You can probably tell the figure depicted here is of the Ixbral like me. For decades, Ixbral and Mulch were at war for control of the forest of Yoctel. Actions Papa took to that end that conflict have since been hailed as the first steps in the founding of Tiliolal. Clan of Hrothgar in Baja known as Hellions. In their society, the women rule as queens and the men serve as devoted subjects. Here in Tyrell, Ixbral men and women appear to be of equal status. How dramatic culture can vary with location. I wonder if some 14 fans are going to get really weird with that. Like, you know how people on Twitter get weird with stuff? It's like, oh, well, this is just pandering to a demographic. It's pandering to feminism. Like, dude, come on. Don't be weird. Don't be weird about the game. Let's see. This one is Leia Potts, which picks moblins of Zamauka. Might wear odd masks and sound weirdly muffled when they talk, but their gold and silver work they sell is the best you'll find anywhere. Almond goods are standard when it comes to gift giving. Wait, so are they just goblins? Just new goblins? Clearly the Vana aren't okay with people in this territorial comparts. If you're done with the first half, we can move on to the second. So weird to me, dude. Legolas Phil shows one of the Pelepelu's homeland is in Ukapacha. Having created our currency, the Pelu are rightfully known as the Merchant Clan. They oversee Tuliola's markets, and their traveling peddlers are a common sight no matter where you go into Tyrell. Don't let their size fool you. They might be mistaken as children, but beneath those beaked masks, they are clever and calculating traders. Are they just Lalafell birds? I'd be okay with that. I would be okay with that. Oh, this is my favorite Levi speaks of battle with the legendary Tyrell Vidral Vale Gurmandal. To explain a Tyrell, Vidral is a creature that has lived far beyond its usual lifespan and awakened to its preternatural power. How to describe the Far Eastern auspices in a similar fashion? Could this be the same phenomenon? You can miss that entire quest line, can't you? The whole Kami quest line with oh, what was it? Can't remember what it is. I know what it. I know what the word is, but I can't remember. Like, I know the concept, not the word. Arigatama or like Aritama or something like that. And itself was dubbed at the Sky Ruin, name earned for the destruction of Terra causes upon trial every time it stirred from its slumber. So it's a primal, effectively. Ghost Ruinous Frame was brought to an end after a great struggle. Papa and his comrades managed to overcome the raging Vigil and sealed it away in the Urkapacha Mountains. Man, I bet we're gonna have to fight that. Special reputation, however, Villa Gramanda is a symbol of power. That's why you'll see like this Tuliola's national emblem, the adorning banners in all the places, or adorning banners at the palace. A lot of reading right off the bat. Lay proof Big Fella is the Yakoi, the largest of Tyrell's peoples. Giants once used their great size and strength to establish them encompassing all of Yak Tyrell. Having brought the southern reaches to heal, they turned northwards, setting sights on Shak Tyrell. You'll recall the massive bridge they built beyond the Skygate. Sometime after launching the campaign, however, they just gave up. They abandoned the lands they'd conquered and withdrew into the mountains of the Urkapacha. Seen any of your kind so much as set foot in that city. How much you want to bet the primal we were just talking about tempered all of these? How much you want to bet? People with the power of resourcefulness to raise a temple on a mountaintop and build a bridge across the Sea of Stone. What will move them to renounce their ambitions and place in Tyrell history? That sounds like tempering to me. Yes. One is unmarked. The history is yet unwritten. Let's go! So he's left a blank pillar for the next chapter of Tuliola's history, whatever it might be. What a good setup, actually. Your fill of history, then? I'm having to message Rev because he's busting through this. The expansion is just Dark Souls 2. The Giants just gave up. I love it. You know, I feel awfully hungry all of a sudden. No surprises there, seeing I couldn't keep anything down for a while, but now I think I'm ready to eat again. Let's go have ourselves a bite of the local delicacy, or local delicacy. I don't know why I added a tot in there. Take you to the best restaurant in the city. I like the sound of that. I like the RP sassy walk. It's so good when you see it. Wow, that was a sudden jolt of just like sound. Okay, I'm awake now. Kind of love this. Very New York, right? Like if this was playing in New York, you could totally see this. Is this meant to be the New York? Is that the subtext here? I think it's just that one I've left. Have you ever, oh no! Have you ever had tacos? They're a Tuliyola classic. You bake a crunchy shell made from corn flour and fill it with meat and salad. Yes. Yes. Tacos. I'm in. A lot of shops and stalls sell them, like how we're made here at Nick's Valley. To best. I don't need one right in front of me right now. Let's head downstairs and place an order with Old Brook Evu. Yeah, yeah, 1920, 1930-ish big band. Like, wow, I like the font of this. I like this as a design decision. It's really cool to hear. A lot of people at the taco bar. It's just Sizzler. We have just entered Sizzler. Yes, pink cat.
My companions must sample your heavenly tacos. One for each of us, please.
Heavenly tacos.
Right away, promise. And I'll pack them tight with my choicest feelings. Only the best for you and your friends.
I love it.
Did you hear the silver scales are back? Seems their overseas foray ended in disaster. More than half their warband is missing, including their leader.
Interesting. Silver scales at Lake Sahagin?
Aye. And now keen to rebuild their broken reputations, the survivors seek the Golden City. A fool's errand. How many hopefuls have disappeared in search of that fable? They should count their lucky stars they came home alive at all.
I like the vibrant reds.
The legend of the Golden City is well known here, I take it.
It is, but as no one's ever seen it, many question if there is any truth to the tale. Like our skeptical Erinville.
Come out of left field? No.
I can't imagine the Dawn Servant would request a formal survey for a place that doesn't exist.
Got him. Where's my taco cutscene? Don't you deny me this, Kryl. Damn it. We missed
Now
tacos.
to find a spot with a pleasant view to enjoy our crunchy spoils.
Yes. I was at a burger place recently, and I got it to go, and it was just like this, just brown paper bag. That's how you know a restaurant's good. Do they give you like, you know, a paper bag with like their logo on it? Do they give you like no, just brown paper bag. Just like lunch bag status, like XL lunch bag status. That's how you know some good shit.
Oh.
How dare.
Oh.
Oh no, how could you? Yes.
If it isn't the third promise.
Mate, your second head's eyes are kind of going a little wonky. I like that it's a chameleon. I like it. This is... Oh, it's so good.
Oh. No.
Is this the first? I could take him.
I don't know these ones. New salt.
I don't think that second one's brains there.
Dredge from foreign waters is my guess, brother.
I could make a joke, but I'm not.
Wuklamat is so afraid of the coming contest that she went crying for special help.
Was there something you wanted, Bakul Jaja?
The third promise remembers us. Such an honor.
I'm kind of getting Star Wars Episode 1 on Tatooine right before the pod race. I'm kind of getting this vibe. He's just
Glory on your name, brother.
Bakul is just Sebulba.
And on yours, brother.
I know my rivals for the throne. Nothing more.
Another child of the Dawn Servant?
No, this brute.
We have no ties to their farce of a family.
I like Swole
Unlike
Sebulba.
the sneevling house cat, we are blessed siblings, the elevated chosen. We alone are fit to succeed Golul Jaja as Dawn Servant.
All peoples are equal in Tulihiola. Your heritage gives you no greater claim to the throne.
Ha! Shall we test that idea here and now? See if your strength is equal to ours.
None of this has any bearing on the right of succession, correct? Best not waste your energies on pointless scuffles.
Got him.
The kitten comes to the house cat's defense.
Pathetic. Since when was our nation overrun by mewling weaklings?
Listen to me, you.
I love this. I love that they're setting up the rivalry so early, too.
Two-headed Mamulja. I knew of them, but that's the first I've seen in the flesh.
Because we fought one before.
Some get it into their twin heads that they're destined to follow in my father's footsteps. So they travel to distant lands to hone their battlecraft. Those are likely the ones you've heard about.
Are there other two-headed claimants?
No, just Bakul Jaja. Even in Tural, his kind are far from common. The Mamulja people largely belong to one of three clans. The Hubigo, the Bunewa, and the Dopro. Every once in a great while, a two-headed offspring is born from a union between the brown-scaled Hubigo and the blue-scaled Bunewa. The child grows to possess immense strength, both physical and magical.
Interesting.
Blessed siblings indeed.
Forget them. Let's go and buy more tacos. I can think of nothing better to rid me of this bad taste in my mouth.
I want my tacos, damn it. No.
Enjoying your tour of the city, I trust.
Alphino.
We've seen our share of notable sights and took a moment to rest.
Alphino, please. I just want my tacos. God damn it.
As such, we're ready to present ourselves at the palace for the rite of succession. Shall we meet you there?
I don't want to be here anymore. I wanted my tacos.
I'll let Wuklamart know.
I just wanted tacos.
Destiny calls. Perhaps we can return for more tacos later?
She says tacos. Oh, it's so good. Just the top right. The bag is flattened just to rub it in even more. I hate it.
So it goes.
At least she picked it up so she isn't littering. Trying some authentic Tiliolo cuisine, but we should hurry and join Alphino and the others at the palace. Could have climbed to the top, you can head up from the Respondent Quarter, or even the eastern side of the town march if you prefer. Then you have an idea of how the city's laid, I'll let you find your own way to the Viliok Shunsa. Or empty belly. Oh. Now I'm just sad. The depression has taken hold. I think what minion I want. Yeah, I'm getting very Outset Island vibes, especially from the roof. My Wind Waker isms are acting up. At least we got to see a full rotation of night and day here. The nighttime atmosphere and ambiance and music is great. I guess that does give the twin-headed Mamalja from ARR the hard mode of, what is it, Wanderer's Palace? I guess that gives them a kind of explanation now, too. Just like, yeah, every now and again, we just have them kind of wander away, kind of trying to, you know, hone their battlecraft. Unless there already was a prior explanation that I'm not aware of. Some of the hard modes I just kind of skipped over. Like, I did them, but I just kind of like skipped over the lore for them, even though there's a bunch. Especially for, what is it, Amdapor, between regular and hard. Because regular is Diabolos and hard is the stupid the statue. Actually, from this, I'm getting Thorin's Hall from Lord of the Rings Online vibes. I like the structure. A lot of people. We're all here. I'm still hungry enough to eat a whole roasted colibri. The contest won't wait for us forever. Several cutscenes will play in sequence. Acquainted the city with towards the city best I could in a short time. Their unbridled enthusiasm made it rather difficult, invariably something that would catch their eye, spurring them to run down an alley to investigate, which was like herding a pair of really corals. Amazing. I understand too well Charlene had the same effect on me. When now it's time we saw the inside of the palace, Papa will want to know I'm home. Meet the allies I've chosen. When how impulsive he is, there's no telling what we might be in for. We're immediately just introduced to like Dawn Servant EX. What is this Dragoon moveset? What's the... Oh, he's probably Viper. Just scaled up. Hi, Stinian. He's the Azure Dragoon, you know.
Stinian? When did he get here?
What's the point? Why is he here?
I love it.
Oh, you know this man? Whenever my father spots a promising opponent, he invites them to Sunpurge to duel. Pressing duties or no, he can't resist a good fight.
I love it.
So the one Estinian is crossing blades with.
I like that he's an active ruler and not just like this, not kind of like the Holy See, you know, like this old debilitated ruler.
That will do, Spearman. I will receive my darling daughter. Know that you are the strongest I fought in many a moon, if not longer. It is the privilege of a life long lived to face such a formidable soul.
I love him.
If it's formidable you want, then look no further than that woman there.
Dawn Servant EX. Boss music plays.
I see you, warrior.
I wonder if that changes depending on your class. Because I'm tank, so it'd be, you know, warrior, but I wonder if it's like mage if you're a magic class.
We had no idea you meant to visit Taral.
I've seen what lies east. This time I chose west.
Yeah.
And thus did our itinerant Dragoon make his travel plans.
You witnessed our bout. If you thought he was fearsome, that was with one head dozing.
I'm not sure I understand.
The old man has been feeling his years. The uncovered side is the head of resolve, and age has only deepened his love for combat. But the head of reason, wiser of the two, sleeps more and more these days. As I understand it, the veil helps with the restoration of his magical energies.
Nice. I like it.
Enough about me, Lamati. I want to hear of your adventures.
Lamachi.
A term of endearment. It's what my family calls me.
Oh. When last did we see you in the palace? Greetings, Solanash.
It's Erenville now, Dawn Servant. I took the name while abroad, and have since grown accustomed to it.
Oh, I can't wait to see more backstory. It's gonna be interesting.
Erenville, then. And these others, I assume, are Lamati's recruited allies. Ha! All-tempered steel. Yet as much as I'd enjoy testing their metal, the hour of the right is at hand. I will summon the other claimants at once.
Then I shall leave you to it.
Nice,
Good fortune, my friends.
That's two. Wait, who's this one on the left? What's happening? Okay, so that's... Oh, that's all four.
The claimants are assembled. The first promise, Zorolja.
So he's on par with the Dawn server, right? He was the one that has the land servants.
The second promise, Ona.
Sorry, are you just a machinist?
The third promise, Uklamat. And lastly, the chosen of Mamuk, Bakum Jaja.
So he's not a promise. He's a chosen.
You four will compete in the right of succession, the outcome of which will decide who takes my place as Dawn Servant.
He just has flintlock. Fuck yeah, dude. I have
the
gun.
Man I once was. My wiser half sleeps the days away. And it is time I yield my position.
What a cool dude.
But mine is a torch that has never been passed. Tuliyola is young. And so I look to the always for inspiration. The right of succession. The means by which the autarch of Mamuk was chosen. Only the two-headed were deemed fit for this contest. But the Tuliyola I built is a nation of many peoples. Our leader needn't have two heads, nor be a Mamulja at all. So I gave the right of claimant, not only to the son I sired, but to my adopted children as well. Yet the opportunity to rule was still not equal. That is why a recent tournament offered a place in the contest as the winning prize.
Now you have us to compete against. Oh,
Though it seems the one head was already too afraid to face us in the tournament.
He just doesn't care. I love it. I love this guy. Dude's chill.
Our brother was in Shock Tural leading the Landsguard on a campaign to eradicate a Tural Vidral. Anyone with sense would know he was too busy for games.
Love him.
Now for the part you've been waiting to hear. The nature of the contest itself.
Scavenger hunt, let's go.
Triumph in the right of succession, and thereby claim our nation's throne, you must travel the lands of Yogg-Tural and find the City of Gold.
Nice. Wait, I have to use my brain.
Father.
Speak, Kona.
The Golden City is an ancient Turali legend, but after so many failed attempts to find it, the story has become more fairy tale than fact. If you would charge us with such a quest, are we then to assume you have proof of the city's existence?
Nah, it's all play.
Are you for us proof, my unbroken word? For I have seen it with my own 4 eyes.
The city's real. All those years.
This was before the founding of Tuliyoba. I traveled the lands of Tural with my companions. And we ended our journey at the gates to the Golden City.
Interesting.
I mean to have you do the same. But in order to achieve victory proper, you need to break the seal I put in place. Bring them.
Yes. It's one of each of the pieces of the story. Up to the blank one? No, the blank one.
Saga.
You will retrace the path I walked to unite our peoples, step by step. Along the way, 7 chosen electors will be waiting to measure your worth.
Please tell me we actually have 7 trials.
Earn their keystones by performing the feats they ask of you.
Damn it, not fights, actually.
Once you've defeated each of the 7 tablets with the keystone, you'll have the key to unlock the seal on the Golden City's gates.
So the contest is in stages, none of which can be skipped by rushing to the ultimate objective.
Got him.
Exactly. Exciting, isn't it?
Martial tournaments, hunting festivals, and now this? You do so love your contests, Papa.
Oh, Hercules. I guess. No, I like it, though. Well, it's meant to, like, you have to understand the journey he went through is the intent. I like it.
Younger, I would have joined in myself, giving you a proper challenge. You may think the ride is tedious or nonsensical, or both, but I am yielding our nation's throne. Let me have this final indulgence.
A waste of time. Just name Bakunja just successor and be done with it.
I can't wait for this man to just fucking absolutely just get wrecked.
The rite of cessation begins now. I'll be watching your progress with great interest. And Clemens, remember to collect your tablets before you leave.
I like that he has a ring around his neck. What a cool dude. Trial, no!
You are one of Lamachi's allies. Speak freely.
I am Cryle Baldessian, representative of the students of Baldessian. My name is perhaps familiar to you?
Ah.
It would seem you sent this letter to my order some years ago. The ink has since faded and much of the writing is illegible. Even so, we managed to determine the essence of it. A request to investigate the Golden City, addressed to my grandfather, Galuf. Included with the correspondence was this earring. A fairy tale and a piece of jewelry were enough to convince my grandfather to sail halfway across the world. So there is surely some greater mystery at work here. On behalf of the students, I've come to seek clarification on the matter. Have you any knowledge you might share with me?
That fire effects in the background. Crispy.
No, not at this time. I have tasked the claimants with finding the Golden City. To fulfill your request would afford one of them an unfair advantage in the rite of cessation.
Which is fair. That's incredibly fair.
But once the contest is decided, I plan to entrust the entire truth to my successor. If you want to hear it, then you had best help Lamachi win.
Very well.
There's incentive.
On my honor as a student of Baldessian, I will find your Golden City.
I love this dude.
Thank you for hearing my petition.
How about that? She's grown into a remarkable young woman. You should be proud, Galuf.
I love it. I love the setup.
Too late to change your mind now, I suppose. But are you sure you wish to be part of this? Our third promise is not wont to take no for an answer. Though you may have agreed to help, I worry that you were swept up in her relentless enthusiasm. Or perhaps you've been lured by the glory of the Golden City. Either way, this contest for the throne will place you and yours at the heart of political turmoil. If you are second-guessing your decision, tell me now. This may be my last chance to help you withdraw.
Life is a series of journeys, my friend. And there's no telling what awaits us on the long road. But what's important is to be true to yourself as you walk it. Only then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one and step forward into another.
So you are committed to your path. I will speak no more of it then. As for my own involvement, I can no longer conduct myself as a mere guide, I think. Not after the Dawn Servant's revelation.
Here they come! It's Saralja! Such a fearsome mien. Make no mistake, there goes Tuliola's mightiest warrior.
How about this beat right?
First promise. Our village needs aid. The cold weather stunts our crops, and the children of our village go hungry. Once you ascend the throne, I beg of you, grant my people new lands, please!
Saralja. Take heart, tiller of the soil. The resilient son, blood heir to the Dawn Servant, has heard your pleas.
Man, a few words. I like it.
Saralja, the first promise and commander of the Landscape. Saralja, the Palaceer. As he was so careful to remind the crowd, Saralja is indeed the natural child of Gurul Jaja.
And Resilient Son. Is that another title, like the first promise?
After a fashion. Common knowledge has it that two-headed Mamulja cannot sire children. Yet Saralja was born all the same, with the head of Resolve's features and the head of Reason's scales. An extraordinary example of life's unyielding resilience.
That's interesting, actually.
And a warrior's reticence. He says little, but the way he moves... I know a hardened soldier when I see one.
He's a natural swordsman. A gift he inherited from his father. Some even say that the son has already surpassed the sire. Should he come to power, the first promise means to employ that martial prowess in the conquest of foreign lands. For this, he and his supporters have been labeled expansionists.
Not expansionists.
This puts him in direct opposition to Wuklamat, who advocates for the preservation of peace. You may recall that she spoke of a claimant who cannot be allowed to rule. That is Saralja, the warmonger.
Cryon, are you all right?
I like the paintbrush.
The echo. It gave me a glimpse into Saralja's ambitions. Deep and unknowable, like an abyss. Yet at the same time, a roaring, unquenchable fire. It was a trifle terrifying, to be frank.
Second promise, you must bring us more marvelous conveniences. More dirigibles and trains and the like. We need you in charge to make trading easier. The elders, they complain about abandoning tradition. But we're not like them, afraid of everything foreign and new.
What? I look at these two and just say nerd.
With your ingenuity and knowledge, you're sure to win the contest.
Forgive me, but the right of succession is barely begun. I will hear your petitions if and when I am named Dawn Servant.
I like him. What a cool dude.
If you will excuse me.
Plain spoken, as always. That's Arcona. Practical to a fault.
Here
Does it short on right?
The second promise. You spent time as a pupil at Charlian's own studio.
Now that you mention it, I think I did see him in the halls once or twice. There was nothing to suggest he was Turali, much less from a royal family.
He's adopted.
That was by design. He forwent his usual garb and took an Eorzean name to avoid attention.
So it was Kona who introduced the dirigibles. And the railway too, given what we just heard.
In furtherance of his goal, to enrich Tuliolal with every bright notion he learned of in Sharlayan. He is the hope of those who prize innovation. As aloof as he may seem, Kona and Wuklamat actually get along rather well. They bicker and banter as only close siblings do.
The Kobo adopted, right? Big. Which makes sense that it would go to him first.
How gracious of you all to cheer the lesser claimants.
Can't wait for him to just get absolutely just destroyed.
Oh, come now. What are you afraid of? I'm no different from your Dawn servant. That my kind should reign is Mamulja tradition, and has been so since before there was a Tuliyola. I'll brush aside your feeble contenders, and then you'll see who deserves your fealty.
Well said, brother.
The Mamulja have finally found peace in Tuliolal. A pity those fanatics are intent on keeping that tradition alive.
Time to count the amount of gods I've killed. Right.
The chosen of Mamuk, Bakul Jaja, winner of the recent martial tournament, and the only claimant not of the Dawn's promise. His strength is undeniable, but you see how he is. A few devoted Mamulja are his only supporters.
Weird champ.
What would he do with the throne should he win it?
His policies and so forth? I doubt he's thought much beyond winning the contest itself.
Right, he wins. Damn it, what do I do? Nothing, I'm out.
But one thing seems certain. If he does become Dawn servant, he will see the Mamulja exalted as the ruling class, and all others forced into subservience.
Sounds like another that cannot be allowed to rule.
Yeah. At least he's openly shitty. Unlike the other one, who hides it a little better. Everyone's already left. Oof, dude. Ash Ketchum moment.
We wish for one thing and one thing only, Third Promise. To abide together in harmony with our neighbors whom we love in this land we share. It is our way, the Turali way.
Galul Jaja built for us this peaceful nation, and we beg you to preserve it.
You have my word. I won't let your pleas go unanswered.
Until Tuliolal was founded some 80 years ago, this continent was ravaged by war. The eldest among us remember that dark era, and they are Wuklamat's most ardent supporters.
Apologies, it's hard to get away. This is Namika, my childhood nursemaid. She's been like a mother to me my whole life. I told her it wasn't necessary, but she insisted on seeing us off.
I place our precious Third Promise into your care.
Why did you have to word it like that?
Did you know Wuklamat was taking part in the rite of succession?
Of the Dawn's promise? I thought it was only Zoralja and Kona. If she has any accomplishments to her name, I've yet to hear them.
Oof. Ooh.
Compared to the two Mamulja, she pales in martial prowess. And then there's Kona, who's far and away the most educated of the bunch. I hate to say it, but it's hardly a competition.
Oof.
It's fine. More than anyone. I understand how much better my brothers are than me.
Better? Wuklamat. I have never thought of you as the lesser sibling. Your brothers may excel in their respective ways, but you boast qualities that both lack. A strength that is yours alone. Having cared for you for so long, I should know.
Thank you, Namika. Well, we ought to be on our way.
Yes, hurry along. I await word of your victory with bated breath.
With someone before, I'm not. It sounds familiar. Wonder who her VA is. Smart nerd, possible brute nerd, because two heads and a pacifist, right? What a story. What a setup. So much for this briefing I had in mind. Papa's not one to waste time when he decides to act. I'm used to it by now, of course, but others are often caught off guard. In any case, we should talk about how we're going to find the City of Gold. All you have to work with are the 7 tablets and their connection to the Tuliyola saga. Just first comparing the tablets against the pillars, we can check any discrepancies between them. Good idea, let's go and take a look. Yeah. So at that point, if you're on the VOD channel, we're going to cut that there. If you're on stream, give me a second.